Is there anything I can do for you two? I'm afraid that Wangsheng funeral parlor...
We've come to see Zhongli. Could you please tell him where he...
Unfortunately, Zhongli isn't here at the moment. It seems...
Doesn't the Northland Bank belong... Last time we saw Zhongli was before we went to the Golden House. Do you think he doesn't know about the attack on Liyue? Visiting the Fatui at a time like... We had better go and make sure that everything is okay.
Skyward! Scatter!
You call this cooperation between Harbingers? Cooperation involves communication, you know.
Don't take it to heart, child. Besides, aren't you happy that you got to skip the formalities and bring... Oh, it seems that some of your
Hey, it's Zhongli and Child. And... you!
It's you two. I believe we've met once before. In the city of Bards, was it? Ah, right. I imagine that it must have been rather hard to forget watching helplessly as something precious.
No, don't let her get to you! You've yet to gather the powers of all 7 elements, and our last battle at the Golden House, so it might be best to keep things peaceful this time, seeing that 2 of the Harbingers are...
Well, if it isn't you two. This is our first time seeing each other since Liyue was nearly wiped off the map.
Paimon knew that we should never have trusted a Fatui Harbinger.
Oh, now don't say that. Sure, I may have misled you, but I never had anything against you personally. Besides, I thought we were getting along quite well together, didn't you? Except for that little tussle, nothing personal. We just have different views, that's all. Of course, you may very well hold this against me. The real deceivers here are Senora and Zhongli. Curse them for leading me on. So actually,
Stop wasting time, child. There'll be plenty of time to chat once I'm... You remember the agreement, Morax. Now, if you would be so kind.
What in the world are you talking about?
The contract is fulfilled. That which thou...
How sanctimonious.
What? So you're the Lord of Chio? No, wait! That's an exciting twist and all, but...
I do not give it for free. I give it as agreed upon in the contract. For it is a matter solely between the Tsaritsa and I.
Yeah, you don't think you went a little bit too far with that whole fake death thing? Everyone was preparing the ceremony for you, and splat! This big dragon falls out of the sky, and all of Lyric goes into...
Gathering all the forces that had been bubbling behind the scenes, and then stirring them together in a pot that was bound to boil.
Wait, what?
Perhaps it's best that I explain. As you know, I've dwelt upon this world for more than 6,000 years. Even boulders that can withstand whirlpools will erode with the passing of time. I kept convincing myself that until one drizzly day, as I was strolling along the harbor, I heard a merchant tell one of his workers. I stood motionless among the crowds, asking myself,
Oh, Zhongli.
but as I began to consider relinquishing my divine role, I soon discovered that many reasons was Liyue, the city I had dwelt in for so long, already prepared to enter its next age. So I feigned my own death, and gathered the cast of Child the Adepti, and the Liyue Qixing to play their roles together on the stage. Indeed, I was. The Gnosis, which I had kept for so many years, suddenly That's right. Which is why I continued to safeguard.
So you mean that if the chaos ever reached the point of no return, you would simply appear and use
Of course. And it would have been all too easy for him, too. Just as a child quickly matures after losing their parents, so has Liyue matured.
In the end, the resolution to all that has transpired was even more satisfying. Take the Adepti, for instance. Owing to their years of seclusion, they were the least informed. Yet when faced with a crisis, they commendably showed the greatest amount of restraint possible. Not only credit is also due to Signora, the emissary dispatched by the Cryo Archon to fulfill our contract. At my request, she kept everything. This meant I could remain as Zhongli, even having the chance to fulfill the age-old traditions of Liyue. All of these things turned out as I had planned. There is only one thing that I had not anticipated. I had expected them to do no more than the Adepti, to come to the defense of Liyue. They seized the opportunity to supplant Liyue's divine protectors, and used the subsequent power vacuum left by my death.
Huh? That doesn't
On the contrary, I think it is excellent. I had always feared that it was too soon for them to take over from me. And it was
Hey, what about me? Doesn't anyone feel the least bit of remorse for deceiving me? You've practically kept me in the...
I think that thanks would be more appropriate. You certainly played no small part in all of this, wreaking havoc and turning the city upside down. The Lord of Geo... If you hadn't created the pressure of a battle between mortals, Adepti, and a god, the lump of coal resting in the hands of the Geo Archon, Liyue...
Huh? Just whose side are you on, mocking me like that? Are you itching for a fight? Hey, haven't you learned the Liyue saying, don't always call it as you see it?
Well then, with the Gnosis in my possession, I have no use for such idle chatter. We should return to Zapoljarny Palace and seek an audience.
Fine. I'll meet you there later. I'm not sharing a...
Do as you wish.
Now then, is there anything else you wish to ask me?
Right! As Zhongli always told us, a good trade is a fair trade. Paimon has no...
Realistically speaking, there is no such thing.
Huh?
However, I am the god of contracts. For thousands of years, I have made countless contracts. My agreement with the Cryo Archon will be the last of my contracts as the Geo Archon. My contract. As for the bargaining chip that the Tsaritsa used to balance the scale, uncover that answer for yourself in your future journeys.
Today's the day of the rite of parting. Although the star of the show is fake, we spent so much time trying to organize it, it would be a real shame not to go there now.
You know that god from the ocean couldn't have just shown up out of nowhere. I mean, it's been 2,000 years since Rex Lapis.
Yes, and to think that this happened right on the heels of the incident with Rex.
Say, do you think the person who assassinated our lord and released that...
Now that you mention it, that's very possible. I mean, it all fits together. That person must have colluded with the evil god to harm Rex Lapis. Still, what sort of supernatural prowess must this person possess to be able to do such things? I have never heard of such a person in all my...
Forget it. Guessing's no use to us. Look, the Millilith over there looks like he's about to make an announcement.
Well, since we're going through with this rite of parting, I guess it means that...
So Rex Lapis is really...
Oh, come on. Do you think that the assassin could have been a normal person? You know what I think. I don't think any of the gossip... There's only one real possibility in my mind. I've heard that the assassin was that Fatui fellow. Youngish, pretty high in rank.
The Fatui? They certainly are very suspicious.
Shh! Lower your voice. If the Fatui catch you in their sights, Rex Lap...
Hear ye all! Though a dragon soars ageless as the mountains, it too must return to dust. Gods and Adepti live glorious lives, but both light and shadow have their season. So too must they face divinely appointed trials. Rumors and hearsay abound on the streets that Rex Lapis, having been thwarted in his trial, Rex Lapis's soul has recouped the celestial heights. He beseeches the people, nor are they to believe street-born rumors or indulge in baseless speculation.
Paimon needs a translation on what the cheese... So that's how they're spinning it. Something feels off. Why would they suddenly give up looking for the murderer? Not to mention how this excuse... Could the Cheesing already have known that Rex Lapis wasn't dead? But Zhongli... Did Zhongli tell them in secret after his gnosis? Exactly, right? Ooh, seems like the rite of parting is... Look, it's Ningguang and Kuching. Are they saying something?
As said previously, Rex Lapis's soul returning to the heavens is the end of the contract.
3,700 years of contract.
We, the people of Liyue, were indeed prosperous, but blinded by our prosperity.
The long, unending dream of our Archon walking among us.
Now that we have awoken from our dream, we must learn. Will you stand with us as we re-establish our contracts? As we build and...
So concludes the words of Her Eminence the Tianquan. Does Her Eminence the Yuheng have anything to add?
Huh? Is she looking this?
Traveler.
Yikes! She really is looking our way!
Is that the traveler who they say defeated the ancient god?
So young.
The Liyue Qixing always repay their debts. And as you have heard, name your price.
Whoa!
Well, could you help me put up some missing person posters?
Now that perhaps mementos for Rex Lapis might be the best short...
And to think I'd put my best perfume on before coming here. But it seems as if those perfumes really were meant to be offered. Well, that's fine. Suffer no rivals in love.
As for the mortals and Adepti of Liyue, what shape...
Zhongli, look at this. Everyone in Liyue is caught up in their emotions, thinking that they'll never see Rex Lapis again. And here you are looking all relaxed.
Why would I not feel more at ease after laying down the burden I... Right. If the two of you can spare the time, I should treat you to a meal at the Xinyu.
Ha! That sounds like big talk, Zhongli. Paimon might have believed you if you were treating us to some third-round knockout, but you'd have to pay...
You're right. I do lack the Mora. As the Rex Lapis Morax, I can easily create Mora. But since I have chosen to walk this earth as the when I was journeying with you, though I still had the Gnosis in hand, I knew that I must soon retire from my role as an Archon.
Oh, no wonder! Paimon gets it now. You didn't look at the price tags when we were but since you weren't used to not being able to just make more Mora as and when you wanted to, you had to try becoming a parasite to society who lives off of...
Well, we were only spending Fatui money. In the City of Commerce, we do not merely exchange money or goods. We also... The Archon Morax could never experience life as the true mortal Zhongli could. No matter how many... I will treasure the memories that I made as Zhongli, traveling the streets of Liyue with... That is true. But there is no journey that does not end.
Paimon thinks that we should make a move and continue our...
I fear that continuing your journey may be difficult. The nation that neighbors Liyue by sea, Inazuma, is presently closed. The Electro-Archon Ball. And just as the people of Liyue preferred to call me Rex Lapis, she too goes by another name.
Paimon thinks we've heard that one before.
That is the case. And since Raiden is also the Shogun of Inazuma, people call her the Raiden Shogun.
That said, though people at the wharf were saying that the situation in Inazuma is very tense, Paimon doesn't remember that Zhongli, since you're Rex Lapis, shouldn't you know something about...
It's because of visions.
Visions?
When faced with circumstances beyond their control, humans often bemoan their lack of power. But if a person shows true strength of will at a desperate and fateful moment in their life, the gods will look upon them with favor. This is what visions are. Magical foci bestowed upon those who have been...
Uh-huh. That's how people in Teyvat see it.
But starting from last year, the Raiden Shogun...
Vision Hunt Decree?
Yes. It was an order to seize all visions within Inazuma's borders, and to inlay them upon the hands of the statue of the omnipresent god.
They want to seize visions. But why? Aren't visions...
I should think that in the Raiden Shogun's eyes, it is precisely because they are divine blessings that they
Whoa! That's...
The Animo Archon is the god of freedom, and the Geo Archon is the god of contracts. For her part, the Raiden Shogun is the god of eternity. The fact that even I, the oldest of the seven, have now passed away, will only... Knowing her, she must have again quoted that adage she is most fond of when proclaiming that decree to her. 7 ideals for 7 gods. And of these, eternity is... All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know? Ah, that was a good one. That said, the reason why the Qixing were so eager to resolve the incident and stop pursuing the culprit, I hinted as much to the Adepti. How did I accomplish that, you ask? Have you ever heard of this? All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know?
That's right. Zhongli, now that you don't have your nose, since Morax is dead, Golden House the only mint in the entire...
The Mora present now will not vanish. But the Golden House will indeed have to cease operations for a lengthy period.
This is terrible! We're all about to...
Yes, this is indeed a major issue from... Well, I suppose we'll just...
Then, did you at least set some private funds...
Oh, a private fund.
What's a shame?
It's a shame that I did... All right, then. Was there anything else? Well, then. I suppose you'll have to find a way to get inside this closed nation. Have patience.
Yeah! Skyward! Scatter!
Ad Astra. Thank you for completing today's commissions. Here is your reward. Ad Astra at...
Hello! Everything's ready.